All right, I'm back. Press the wrong button. That's not too bad. I mean, today's February 10th, so 41, 46, I guess day 47 or something like that. So it's been a bit since I screwed up the buttons. So we'll get live on Facebook. Yeah, see what's going on. How was your weekend? Yeah, wow. Let me see if we've successfully figured out how to go live on the Insta. Sober is not stoner. I saw that yesterday. Changed my mind. That's interesting. Give me your thoughts on that. Sober is not stoner. I know some people that would argue. Yeah. How you guys doing? Scale of 1 to 10. Post it in the chat. Let me see here. I'm trying to get it to come up on Facebook. There it is. Good morning, Jason Rector. Good morning, Josh Baker and Tony Ruffin. How are you guys? Dave Howard. No screwing up. Day 47. I hit that button. I go, oh, that's not good. Right at 8 o'clock. There's a lot of clicks that have to happen to go live on multiple platforms and StreamYard and Instagram and all the things. So 71 on the sleep score today. I guessed it head on, dead on. I said, I think I got a 71. Pulled it up. Son of a gun, it was a 71. Coffee number 3. Ready to rock and roll. Hey, thoughts on the Super Bowl? Whatever. Every time I watch it, I'm like, ooh. It was kind of like, to me, it was almost as big a waste of time as the Tyson-Jake Paul fight. Well, so that halftime thing, I don't know. I was just kind of sitting there, and I said to Wendy, I said, well, I enjoy country music and old stuff, and I guess this is probably how people feel when they watch that and they don't like it. So I don't know. Whatever. It's all good. Pop culture. I'm getting older, so it doesn't really matter to me. And I just leave it at that. So, and I'd like to get credit for the hour of sleep I had on the couch, though. We'll go into bed conked out. Yeah, that was a lopsided game. So they never got it going. It's funny how that happens in football. Sometimes that 1 or 2 plays create a little bit of momentum, and all of a sudden they don't get it back. And that's just the way it goes for the rest of the game. And you can almost see it coming, right? Yeah. And I said to Wendy before the game, I said, Mahomes looked tired. She said the same thing. Hey, he just looks kind of tired. He didn't seem dialed in. I could almost see it in his face. Like it wasn't going to be a three-peat. So anyway, you guys that are hating on the Chiefs, good for you. You Philly fans that are a nasty bunch throwing snowballs at people. Good for you. I like to see people's team win now and then. Nobody should have to go as long as we did as Red Sox fans without winning, other than Cubs fans, that is. So anyway, there's a few people on here this morning that this might land with. And I've talked mindset. We've talked habits. We talked a bunch of stuff on the personal side, right? How you guys manage your personal side. And I was talking with somebody the other day, and they said, well, when you're working with people, like, what do you know the most about? And I said, well, probably, taking a contracting business to 7 figures, like literally off the couch. And they were amazed to hear that I don't talk about that more. And so today I'm going to talk about it a little bit, but with a particular twist, assuming you're already at 500K and that you're stuck. So why is your business stuck at 500K or somewhere? Your number could be 1.5 and you're trying to get to 3. But how to break through to that next level. I titled my talk, Why Your 500K Business is Stuck and How to Break Through to 1.5. And I'll qualify this by saying it doesn't need to be a contracting business. What I'm going to share with you today and how I'm going to challenge you, it could be the same if you have a cupcake business, okay? The principles are the same across the board, guys. So you've built a powerful business. You've hit the X mark. I'm just going to use 500K as an example today. Don't be intimidated by that if you're doing 10K. All right. But now it feels like you're spinning your wheels. You get to that point, it feels like you're spinning the wheels. And I remember saying back in the early 2000s, man, it feels like I have to recreate this business every freaking year. Like there's no sustainability to it. And at the time, I didn't know any better. I didn't know about scaling. I didn't know about who, not how. I didn't know how to buy back my time. And then I wasn't reading the books, and I wasn't in the right rooms, and I wasn't around the people that could help me with it. So, guys, put in the chat if you're just getting on. Put in the chat how you doing this morning, 1 to 10. Let me bring the comments up. The last one I saw, it was just stuck on Dave's comment. Throw in there 1 to 10. How you doing today? And how was your weekend? How you like the Super Bowl? Didn't particularly care for it, but doesn't really matter. It's Monday. We talked about that yesterday, right? All right. Most people get stuck in business because they just continue to go with what got them there, right? And you've heard the old adage, hey, what got you there what got you here won't get you there, won't get you to the next level. And that's true. You need to do something different. So scaling from 500K to 1.5 requires a complete shift in strategy and mindset and systems and all that stuff. The systems that work for you, when I say systems, I use that term lightly. The things that work for you at 100K or 500K aren't going to work at 1.5. And even the stuff at 1.5, you guys that are doing that right now, that stuff ain't going to work at 3. I know it. It's not going to. All right. So common frustrations are you're working harder, but really not making significantly more. And I talk to a lot of guys. Well, I want to do 2 million next year. Why? Well, I just want to do 2 million. Okay, you're doing 1 million now. Does that mean you'll make twice as much to your bank account? Well, I don't know. I hope so. Well, we should know before we try to do that. And you guys often feel maxed out, right? There's no more time for any more work. You're like, I don't know where I would fit any more in. You struggle with cash flow, even when you're busy. You got great work going on, cash flow sucks. So something needs to change, but you don't know what it is. Something needs to change for you to break through. Chances are you are what they call the bottleneck. And we can talk about that. So 4 big reasons why this goes on. Number 1, you still work like the technician. And I'll just use contracting for an example. You take the guy that's a great carpenter and he starts his own contracting business. He's a great carpenter. He's not necessarily a great contracting business owner, correct? So at 500K, you're still literally in the trenches doing the work. Anything 500K and below, you're probably wearing a belt, right? Or whatever your business is. Let me think of a different business. I don't know. I just keep going back to it like a deli type of thing, or a cake business or a cupcake business. You're the one making the cupcakes, trying to make the donuts, right? At 500K and below, right? But to get to that next level, to double and triple that, you need to transition from technician to CEO. You need to run the business. You need to be, and you've heard the old E-Myth thing, work on the business, not in it, right? Stop seeing yourself as just the guy that does great work. Well, nobody does it like me, so I can't let go of it. Start seeing yourself as the business owner who builds the systems and teams, who sees what's coming down the train track and gets everybody ready for it. Here's the test. You ever done the 1-week test? They call it the 2-week test too, right? If your business can't run without you for a week, you don't have a business. You have a job. You have a job. For some reason, there's the comments. They're coming up now. Justin Katie's here. Justin says, I seem to run into that. I'm struggling to get out of the field. Yeah. Michael Moeller says he's an 8. Looking forward to a productive week. Good to see you guys here. And I'm glad I'm bringing a topic today that might land well with you. Wendy says, don't let the business run you, run the business. She's seen that firsthand. And guys, just like any of the other talks I come on here and give, I'm not doing it from my high horse. All right. Every single mistake I talk about it here, I've made. All right. I've absolutely 100% made it. Okay. So do the test. Can you go on vacation for a week and come back and everything's good in your business? Again, if it isn't, you don't have a business, you've got a job. So shift your role. Whereas 500K business, you're the owner, you're the main worker, right? You're doing the thing, you're pounding the nails. At a 1.5, The owner is leading. He's making deals. She's hiring, setting vision, doing the things, planning, strategic planning, putting systems in place, creating a sales process. Here's another problem. You don't have scalable leads and lead flow strategy. You're not controlling how much stuff goes in the funnel. I've been guilty of this one. Many contractors and other business owners refer on word of mouth referrals and repeat clients. I've said this, and you've probably heard me say, well, 9 times out of 10, if we have 6 jobs going, 3 of them are for people that we've worked with before. That's great. It means you're doing a good job, but it's not enough. Good morning, Josh Gadboys. Good to see you. That stuff works at 500K and below, right? But it doesn't get you to 1.5. Doesn't get you to 1.5. Josh will tell you that as well. You need leads and a lead flow strategy. So move past that passive marketing, just kind of waiting for it to fall out of the sky. Gee, I hope something happens. I hope the phone rings. And do some active marketing. Create demand. And you do that by all your social media, all your SEO, your website, how you're interacting with people, how you're farming for business. We can talk about that. Dial in that ideal client. Stop taking bad jobs just to stay busy. If you ever taken one, you're like, I know I shouldn't work for this guy. I know, but hey, we got to have work, right? Got to make the cash register ring so we can take the job. And then about 3 or 4 months later, we feel fortunate to get out of there with a shirt on our back or less, right? So don't do that. Implement simple and consistent lead generation. Like I said, website, local SEO, social media presence, referral systems. Do you have a referral program? Raise that close rate. Get better at sales. Not just hoping for good leads. Yeah, Ronaldo, good to see you. Yes. So another problem, you're underpricing. You're killing your profits. I would love to go back to 2008, 9, 10 in that range and look at how I was pricing. I know I can do that. I have done it, but I mean to look at what would happen if I actually charged what I was worth and where I might be today. Most contractors and others undercharge because they fear they'll lose customers if they raise prices. And they aren't tracking. They don't know. They think, well, I'll put this on it. Hey, I guess all contractors make 10, 15%. I'll put that on there. They're not tracking their true job cost. They don't have any idea what it costs them to be in business. And guys, I don't care if you do that, just pull your bank statement out and look at how much money went out of your account last month. It can be that simple, and that'll give you an idea of just how much money you need to put in next month. I get it. I know jobs fluctuate and all that, but if you're not doing anything, at least pull your head out of the sand and look at it. Okay. And then you need to just shift, price for growth, not just survival. Move on from how low can I bid to how much value do I provide? We've all done it. We're like, oh, where? And I see guys on here. I know have done it, and I've done it. Where can I skinny that up? I guess I don't know. Maybe it'll only be 2 or 3 dumpster loads, not 4. I'll get rid of one of those. Okay, yeah. Well, we don't need to make 42% gross. We can drop that to 39. And all of a sudden, we're starting from a lower place. And as you guys know, a bunch of you guys know Tom in the contractor fight. He says the line, "Stop stealing from your family," and he's right. He's right. So how do you fix it? Calculate your true labor and material costs. Most contractors underestimate. Write everything down and charge for a profit, whatever yours is. The general public will go through the roof if you tell them, hey, we charge 50% gross profit or 40% gross margin. They'll go through the roof. But when it shakes down and you show them an 8% net, it starts to make sense. It costs something to run a business. And then just package your value better. Don't just sell a project. Sell expertise. Sell quality. Sell reliability. We're going to show up. Tony Bottai, how are you doing, buddy? Good to see you. Hey, Josh Baker. Josh Baker's laughing. Yeah. Another problem. You don't have the right people or systems to scale. Right? At 500K, you might have a small crew, ragtag unit, right, that works most of the time, and you put up with Johnny being late because he's got to go see his attorney, and he's going to roll in at 8:30. I used to have a guy, I wouldn't open the trailer until I knew he was coming around the corner. But that was at 500K or less. At 1.5, we need a team and we need systems, right? And we need to be able to depend on people showing up. Hire smart, hire the right people. Steve Rosenberg, who is speaking at our event in a couple of weeks, says, right butts in the right seats. I like that. Right butts in the right seats. Hey, Tony, good. Headed my way today. Good. I'll make sure I'm available for lunch. Right butts, right seats. Build repeatable systems for estimating, scheduling, and invoicing. If you're doing a process repeatedly, write it down, create a process out of it. Ask yourself this. If someone came in to buy my business today and they said, I'm going to write you a check for whatever you think it's worth, I just need a manual on how to run it. And you would go, I would go for all the years of my contracting business, right? Write that shit down. Put it in a notebook. Here's our estimating process. Here's our hiring process. Here's our employee handbook. And if you're not using ChatGPT to try to get you going on some of these things, you're getting left behind. Another one is micromanaging. You got to get out of the way, guys. Delegate tasks. Trust people to do their thing. Get out the way. You're the bottleneck. You're the problem. So, and if you don't start hiring and delegating, you're always going to stay capped at what you can personally do. Like this is as much as you can personally do. Everybody has a bandwidth. Well, there's 24 hours in a day. I'll sleep when I'm dead. Those words have come out of my mouth in the last year, frankly. You got to get people. So how do you break through to that next level? If you're 500K, how do you get to 1.5? Step into a leadership mode. Start driving the bus instead of riding on it. Remove yourself from the daily work. Don't go away. Remove yourself. You're not going to be the guy that pounds nails. Josh Baker says, even if things aren't going well, there's still a process we're doing every day. Write down daily actions to expose what our process is now so we can pivot and tweak. Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. Love it. Make key hires. Make those key hires. Get a foreman. Figure out that person you should start with. I would argue it's probably an admin, an executive assistant, or VA. Get somebody to take some things off your back so you have a little bit more bandwidth. And you can do that very affordably. Start thinking long-term instead of just surviving month to month. Start planning long-term. Yeah, Tony says that's my roadblock now. It's very common. How about fixing your pricing and your profit margins and not apologizing for it? Raise your prices. Stop competing on being the cheapest. Don't be in that race to the bottom. Track every job's profit. Look back at it or highlight a job and say, we're gonna shred this thing. I'm going to track every goddamn thing on this job. Every time I go to Home Depot, every time I get gas to go there, I'm going to track my time in it. And then focus on high-value clients. Get the people that appreciate the quality, not just price. When you're at jobs and you're looking at things, and I don't care, guys, I'm using contracting as an example, but it can be anything. When somebody says to you, yeah, I'm hoping to do this if I can afford it. Oh, yeah, I'm collecting estimates. Yeah, we'll see. Maybe we'll do this next year when we can afford it. That's probably not your client. Then we've got to create a predictable sales and marketing system. Stop relying on word of mouth alone. Jobs don't fall out of the sky. Trust me, that dries up at some point. And then build a simple marketing strategy. You don't have to be out spending $3,500 on SEO every month when you first start, or even at the 500K level to get to 1.5. Go ham on social. Do the things that don't cost anything. Lay into that. Start generating some consistent leads. If you have a business, shoot some social, shoot some video. Don't give me that, well, I don't like being on camera. Get out of your own way. Guess what? You're not that important and not that many people watch. Trust me, I know. All right? You'll close way more deals with a structured sales process. And then build your systems and teams to scale. How is this going to work for the next level? Document those processes. Get it out of your head and get it on paper. What if you got hit by a bus tomorrow? Hire for growth, not just filling the gaps. I need a guy. And then train your team to operate without you. Oftentimes when somebody would come to me and say, hey, what are we going to do here? I'm like, well, what if I wasn't here, if I was on vacation, I was out of town, what would you do? This is what I do. That's exactly what I do. Go do that. So 99% of the time, people would do what I probably would do on my own. So don't overinflate your own importance about your role in the process. Okay, we can all be we're all replaceable. And if you don't know what I mean by that, this is more for work. I use an example for working in corporate. I used to say to people, fill up a 5-gallon bucket of water, make a fist, and put your arm in, pull it out really quick, and see how long the hole stays there. That's how long they'll miss you. Okay, company's going to be there long after you're gone. So same thing with your own business. Don't overinflate your own importance. So some final thoughts on this. The hardest part of scaling isn't the work, guys. It's the mindset shift. You have to start thinking about yourself as a business owner. Good morning, Roy Dahl. If you're stuck at 500K, or you can adjust that number to whatever it is. If you're stuck at 500K, it's because you're running the same way you always have. You're doing the same shit. People that break through don't work harder, they work smarter. I've seen it. I'm like, geez, how are they doing that? How come that guy? Man, he takes Fridays off. He's on his fishing boat every Friday. How did he figure that out? Oh, he's got people that do stuff for him. Start thinking of yourself as someone that's leading the company. All right, guys, I just scratched the surface today. If you want to dive deeper into this stuff and get a custom plan for your business, let's connect. I don't talk enough about business on these lives, and I'm going to make sure that I do going forward. I hope you get something from it. DM me scale. Send me a DM and just write scale if you want to talk about how to take your business from 500K to 1.5 million the right way. And I've done it the right way, and I've done it the wrong way. So trust me when I say this stuff comes from a place of relative, relatable experience. I want to help you. I started out in this coaching business saying, how can I help the most people? And the way I can help the most people is by helping them avoid the mistakes that I've made over the course of the years in business and in life. So TL Dex, good to see you. Good to see you. Kaylin, good to see you. And it doesn't matter, seeing Kaylin on here reminds me, I know he'll probably own his business someday. And listening to this stuff is key. I didn't have this. I didn't listen to this stuff. Even if it was somebody who was saying it, I probably didn't listen because I had all the answers, right? So when we're young, if we can open up our ears and listen to stuff, get in the right rooms. Kaylin's coming to our event on the 22nd, and he's going to hang out and get in the right room. So I'm excited to have him there. He's Wendy's youngest son and my future stepson. So thank you for jumping on here. Appreciate you being here. And I know you're working hard to do some things and figure it out and get where you want to go. So don't give up. And any of the rest of you guys that are trying to scale a business or just trying to survive, take a step back and look at it. I know one guy that used to take Saturdays as his business development day. He wouldn't work on anything work related. It would just be like, where is the business going? So he'd come into the office, sit down. It wouldn't be like, what's this project going? Have we ordered this trim? Where's that carpet? None of that. What did we do last month? What are we going to do next month? Do I have the right butts and the right chairs, right seats? Okay. So think about that. Yeah, Danielle, I'm glad you do. So, and again, guys, I talk a lot about my relatable experience comes from contracting, but I've been part of corporations. I've sat at big tables and had tough questions asked about P&Ls and balance sheets and that kind of stuff. So when I start talking about this stuff, it's not just me regurgitating something I learned on Instagram. So if you'd love to have a chat about it, I'd love to have a chat about it. If you feel the same way, DM me scale. And again, I offer a 30-minute free strategy call to anybody that wants to DM me and say, hey, Bob, I'd like to get on the phone with you for a few minutes. I'm not going to try to sell you coaching. If you want to talk about coaching, I'd love to chat with you for one-on-one coaching. We have two or three communities. One's our free school group. The other one is what I call our paid school group, where we have a lot more content that we provide in there. And we also have our peak community where all our one-on-one clients live. So there's some rooms that you are not in. And if you'd like to be in them, give me a buzz. Be active in our summit community. There's ways, if you don't have any money to throw at it, there's ways for you to get active in the personal and business development world without spending a nickel. Just start paying attention and use that thing on the front of your face to talk to people. All right, guys, it's been fun. It's been a fun Monday. I get a little fired up for business today. Got the Super Bowl behind us. I was watching that last night, and and thinking, what can I learn from this for business and personal development, all that. And just kind of watching particularly how Kansas City dealt with, a huge right hook. And it was interesting to see some of the guys and, heads down, face down on the bench. And I think back to how Tom Brady handled it when he was down, and he was going right up and down the offensive and defensive line, yelling at everybody, telling them, we got this, keep going, let's go, score 0-0, let's handle this and come back and win the game. So I'm not saying that Kansas City would have come back last night, but it was interesting to see somebody that's operated at a high level get punched in the face and kind of lay down in a way. And I saw a lot of them lay down. So I didn't care for that. It's not how I operate. And it ain't over till it's over, right? And people are watching. People are watching what you do in the last few minutes of the game when you have absolutely no chance to win. So think about that. Got the brakes beat out of them. Yeah, right. Yeah, exactly. They did. And that happens. And that's going to happen to you guys in business. Yeah, TB12, right? It was interesting to hear him announce too. I'm like, he doesn't have a ton of experience doing that. Here he is doing the Super Bowl. I thought he did a great job. I liked the color he brought. And he certainly knows the game, and he certainly can speak at length about what Mahomes was going through and what the QB Jalen Hurts was going through. So yeah, Jason, I can't argue with that. They gave up early. It was interesting to see, like, when everything doesn't go great. I think that's when you learn the most about people. So anyway, guys, make sure you come into our event. We had less than 2 weeks. We're going to be all in for all day on Saturday, February 22nd at the Italian Heritage Center. Rector, how come you're not coming up here? You better be coming to Maine on the 22nd. You can make it happen. Let's go. Challenge accepted. Get up here and get in the right room. We're going to have a great day. We're going to have a great Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So it's not just a one-day event. There'll be people around doing things, getting together for dinner, hanging out, and just networking and being around people that are doing the same things, looking to scale their business, looking to meet and network with people that are doing the same thing they are. Again, it doesn't have to be contracting. A lot of the people that are coming are contractors, but we have a lot of other business owners and people that are just trying to get better at life and being an entrepreneur. So a challenge, Wendy, I don't know what you mean by that. I challenge you to come to buy a ticket. Ask me how I know. And again, if you're having trouble for a financial reason, or the ticket price is too steep or something like that, just shoot me a note off to the side. We'll see what we can do. So yeah, and speaking of Wendy, today is 2 weeks from her hip surgery. So that means when they say walker for 2 weeks, cane for 2 weeks, she's taking that. She's like, it's 2 weeks today. This walker's going down the road. So she's off with the cane, I think. And we'll keep that thing handy just in case we need it because of the snow and ice and all that stuff. But we got out a couple of times over the weekend. Went to LL Bean, went to breakfast. Yesterday, took a ride, which was good. So get out and stare at something other than the condo wall. So we got 2 weeks down and staring at only 10 more before the bone is fully grown around the implement, as they say. So guys, I want you to have a great day. Think about the things that I said with regard to your business. And you don't have to be trying to scale all the time. But even if you're at that 500K level, or I don't care if it's the $500 level, think about what you need to do to get to the next level. And it's not always pound more nails, sell more cupcakes. Get out the way. Find some people that will help you operate at a high level. And to me, the real test of a heads up business person is someone that hires people that are smarter than them and better at them at the things they're trying to do. Go ahead and do that, and then you'll be on your way. Wendy said, I folded that thing right up and put it in the corner. Good for you. All right, guys, have a great Monday. Make it a great day. Make someone else's day. Be good to each other. Do good things. Kick ass. Take names. Take no prisoners. And I'll see you tomorrow. Hope you enjoyed it. Take care.